Understood. Interesting.
Sal Raka.
Gore, how are you and the Fire Wielders settling in?
All right, I guess. Though there've been some quarrels between my warriors and these Mohir elves. But don't worry, I took care of it. And that elven scryer promised to do the same. Nonetheless, Tahar, I have to say it. I don't like this place. Not at all.
Why not?
Well, I guess it's the people who once lived here. The Shapers. They were corrupted. And I can feel that corruption even now.
Corrupted?
Yeah. Their customs, their culture. They were completely detached from the order of nature.
How so?
Do you even need to ask? Just look around. Ghost warriors, strange machines, strange buildings. Especially this place, this Nexus. They thought they were above everything, even the gods. And they meddled with things they didn't understand. It's disgusting.
Well, they're dead now.
Maybe. But I can still feel their presence. Anyway, nothing we can do about it. If the Shapers caused the blood burn, I understand why we need this place. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? Huh?
What's it like to change form? I've been wondering about that since I met you.
I can imagine. It's exhilarating and strange at the same time. If it taught me one thing, then it's how foolish it is to put the mind above every other aspect of the body. Many people do that, especially scholars or mages.
What do you mean?
Because the shape of our flesh is so much more than just a shell. It defines us. When I take on the form of a wolf, for example, this wolf isn't just me with fangs and paws. It's a different version of myself.
A different version?
Yes. You can't understand if you haven't been there. But I guess you could say that when I'm taking on a creature's form, a part of my mind gets infused with that creature's essence. The thirst for the hunt. Thinking as part of a pack, just to name the most obvious aspects. They meld with my mind. When I was young and first started shifting, the creature always dominated. It was like a feverish dream, and I had almost no control over my actions. With time, it got better.
Did you ever completely lose control when you were in another form?
In the beginning, yes. But the Elder always made sure I was in a controlled environment when I did my first transformations.
How does it feel to shift into a spider?
Strange. Being a mammal, a wolf or bear, it feels different, but still somehow familiar. A spider is something else entirely. The way you see, the way you perceive, the way you feel. The first time I shifted, I couldn't bear it for more than a minute, and it haunted me for weeks after that.
Yeah, I imagine. How do you learn a new form?
That's complicated. First you have to understand that creature, observe it, live with it if possible. That can take months, years, sometimes decades. Then there's what we shamans call the first joining. You have to visualize your shift.
How does that work?
I can't explain it. It's like your first bloodshed. It can't be explained, only experienced.
So in theory, could you transform into anything? Even, say, a wyvern, a dragon?
In theory, yes. In practice, there's no known shapeshifter who has ever done that. Save for old orcish legends, maybe.
Why not?
First off, there aren't many dragons around to study. And even if there were, you aren't likely to survive it. Secondly, transforming into something that enormous, it can be lethal. Our minds, our essence just isn't fit to govern such a massive body. Only some years ago there was talk of an Ash Reaver shifter who had attempted to morph into a troll. He succeeded, but his heart, the troll's heart, stopped before he could take a single step. So you see why most shifters aren't that eager to experiment.
Huh, wow. That's definitely interesting. Thanks for taking the time to explain.
Sure.
Back in Bar Gagor, you told me that you think the orc should strive to be more. What do you mean by that? Do you consider your culture to be, well, inferior?
Inferior? No, not at all. On the contrary, I'm glad to be a fire wielder, and not a human or an elf.
Why?
Because not so unlike the Shapers, your culture is bigoted, strange. You like to tell yourselves you're more than the animals you slaughter for food. You call yourselves civilized. But in the end, you look for the struggle just as anything and anyone else does. But of course you don't admit to it. You want to be better than that. And the result are lies, intrigue, wars, and assassinations. Your culture is so bizarre that it's almost amusing.
That might go for some, but not all of us.
Maybe, maybe not. So no, I don't consider our culture to be inferior. But we've gone astray. Fools such as Krell was one. They're the reason your race looks down on us. If Zakrak had wanted us to be ever-fighting, ravaging brutes, he wouldn't have given us minds to begin with. Every brawl, every battle, every war has to have a purpose. It isn't something done for pleasure. Yes, it can be enjoyed. But at its core, it is ritual. The most basic one of nature.
In other words, violence and war are good and necessary, but only within measure?
Yes, and it should be learned from. That's where most orcs disagree. They claim to value wisdom, but when asked to choose between words and a club, they always choose the club. And as you see, this is why our culture has stagnated. In its current state, there will never be an orc empire, a great tribe, or the earth-shaking horde Zarek envisioned.
So what you want is to lead your people to a better future?
You make it sound so dramatic. For now, the Fire Wielders are a good start. And by helping you, they will hopefully see that diplomacy and strength don't always contradict each other. After that, we shall see.
Don't you think a world without violence is possible?
No.
Why? Isn't that what we should all aspire to?
We should aspire to a lot of things. But tell me, Tahar, this world has existed for millennia. And has there ever been peace? Lasting peace?
At times, yes.
At times, exactly as I said. Our very existence is based on conflict. Finding food, not freezing to death. Living means to struggle. Your people, with your warm clothes and banquets, try all in your power to forget that fact. But you can't, because ultimately, there's as much thirst for struggle in you as in an orc. What we orcs believe is that we should embrace it, that we should just face the truth, even if it's ugly. that the ways of nature can't be changed by its creation. It's like fighting the tides.
So what? Do we just kill each other whenever we feel like it?
No. What we need is a way to channel our urges. Ceremonial battles, arenas, a society that is centered around survival and strength, and gains rather than loses stability from it. Because if we simply suppress these urges, such as humans, the elves, and the dwarves do, they will at one point only erupt even more violently.
I get your point, but I'm sure there must be another way.
There isn't. Anyway, where were we?
Did you always have these ambitions?
No.
Then where did they come from?
None of your business, Tahar. Sorry.
All right. Well, thanks for explaining.
Sure.
How did you become a shapeshifter?
I was chosen.
And how does that work?
Complicated. Are you sure you want to hear the whole story? Time isn't exactly on our side.
It isn't, but the more I know about your abilities, the better. You're fighting for me, after all.
We're not fighting for you, Tahar. We are fighting alongside each other. That's a big difference.
Alongside, then.
Good. Let's make it short then. Shapeshifting is a gift of Zarek. One that only the best of his shamans are granted.
And how does one become a shaman?
He has to be chosen by a tribe's chieftain. You see, magical talent is a lot rarer among orcs than it is among humans or elves. In my tribe, there was only me and Rain. We both discovered our talent by chance. I, when I was 9, and put out a fire that had broken out in my family's hut. Everybody was asleep. Even the damn fool that had been tasked to stand guard. When I woke up, the entire room was in flames.
So it was your magic that woke you?
No, I needed to take a piss.
Makes sense. What happened then?
I panicked and started screaming, as every child would have. However, the only thing that did was make me inhale the fumes even quicker. My vision blurred and I lost consciousness. When I woke up again, I was on a bed of hay in the village shaman's tent, and everybody was staring at me, as if I was Zarek incarnate. I asked what happened and they told me. Just when I had lost consciousness, it had started to rain. Not just a little. It was a full-fledged storm, a deluge from the skies. With not even a minute, all the tents in the village had been flooded. The fire wasn't extinguished right away, but was quickly put out by the other orcs that had been awoken by the storm.
How did they know it was you? It could have been a coincidence.
An unlikely one, yes. But you're right. According to my brothers, I had an orange shimmer in my eyes, and was muttering strange words when they took me to the shaman. She told me that was a clear sign that I was gifted, and that I had fire in my blood, as my tribe likes to say. Of course, it changed my life entirely. All of a sudden, I was my Cal's pride. It was strange, not just for me, but also for my kin.
How did your family take it?
Well, they were proud. But they also weren't sure how to treat me anymore. For example, my father stopped taking me out on the hunt because he was afraid that something might happen. Which is ridiculous. Shaman or not, an orc who can't wield a spear isn't an orc at all. Also, my siblings became withdrawn. Jealousy, of course, but also estrangement. All of a sudden, their baby brother had become this strange being, which had apparently been bitten by Zarek himself.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Don't be dramatic. There's worse fates than being the one gifted orc among thousands.
Who trained you? The healer?
Yes, but only about her craft. Primitive ghost callings, alchemy, medicine. I learned my magic from an elder who lived in a tiny shack a 15-mile march from our village. I woke up every day before dawn, walked for 2 hours, served him, and received my lessons. Then returned to my cow shortly before midnight. It was hard, yes, but it was insightful. Those long walks in the darkness, the solitude at the foot of the mountain where his shack was, they shaped me.
Interesting. And who is this Rain you mentioned earlier?
Did I? Well, that's complicated. I don't want to talk about it.
All right. Regarding this Rain you told me about,
No, Tahar. Accept it.
will do.
To this day, the Shaper's magical and technological prowess remains unrivaled.
Tahar, may I help you with something?
Goodbye. What's next? Yes?
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 That's the way.
Though your legs ache and your stomach burns with hunger, you cannot help but feel a vague sense of anticipation as you descend into the black tunnels.
Yes? Let's see. Now would you look at that?
Who is this? My strange flesh friends! Did they bring more meat? Ah, yes, they did! City goblins, is it not? God King likes. Chewy, yes, but good for power. God King thinks. God King very happy. Strange flesh people friends. Again, God King has treasure. Bring him more for final treasure. Who is this? My strange flesh friends. Did they bring more meat? Ah, yes, they did. Forest goblins, he sees. Good flesh, nice and green. Power will be pleased. Come, come, God King has present. God King grateful for so much flesh. God King will not have to eat scions for years now. This is his thanks. It's a spoon. Found long time ago in depths of caves. God King used it to cook flesh. Helps the power. You will have it. Now go. God King has no more treasures, but still needs meat. Yes? What do strange flesh people want?
So, you eat your own people?
To protect! To protect from dark beyond! God King has to. If not, he will lose power.
What do you protect your people from? Monsters?
From horror, from pain! But strange flesh people would not understand. Strange flesh people have not seen it.
Seen what? You're not making any sense.
Horrors! Unspeakable evil! Mist and fangs and darkness bred from Lost City! 14th day, it comes and takes scions, children, men, women, eats them, slaughters them! And only power can drive it back. And for power, God King needs flesh. Sad, sad cycle of pain.
Maybe he's talking about a spectral abomination, a kind of ghost. I've read about these in some writings on Shape of Ruins.
What's a bonkers? God King does not like to be talked about like that.
This is gruesome. I think we'll be off now.
Uh-huh.
Yes?
The field dog. What may sound like a myth or horror story to many is harsh reality for the 200 Iron Falcons of the canyon named Aonir's Blade. According to legend, the guardian gods fought back the Field Dog, ancient mythical demons, and sealed them in a tomb. Ever since that day, the Field Dog have tried to break free, raising hordes of the undead from...
Quite the view. So that's where the Iron Falcons guard the Field Dog.
Well, whatever we do, we need to be careful. This place reeks of death and decay.
I know. We'll go in, get the stone, and leave. Maybe we won't even need to send in our army. Let's scout the area.
Sounds like a plan. Hold on.
Huh?
These bones. They look kind of strange, don't they?
Sarek guides me.
You're right. They... Whoa.
What is it?
I think I just saw something. A part of the canyon.
Odd.
Let me try again. Blazes. It works. I can see the canyon.
Oracular bones. Now I've seen everything.
Was that a pun?
Ha ha.
Either way, this might be useful against the undead. Interesting. Here we go again, old friend. No rest for the wicked. Huh. Seems that these bones can only show one part of the valley at once. Damn it. Let's see. Here we go again, old friend. No rest for the... Fascinating. Here we go again, old friend. Not fascinating. Here we go again, old friend. No rest. Fascinating. Here we go again, old friend. No rest for the wicked. Fascinating. Interesting. Here we go again. Here we go again, old friend. No rest for the wicked.
Just give the word.
Fascinating.
Sure.
Told them he shouldn't do it. Told him. But he wouldn't listen. You know? He...
Tiara's breath. Who are you? Who did this to you?
What?
I said, who are you?
No, Mother. It was him. Why don't you believe me? It was him!
He's hallucinating. This is pointless.
Wait, let me see. Selwen Lurasar Eswantur.
Mother? I can see this city now. Kiara's breath. It's so white. So beautiful.
Damn it.
He was an Iron Falcon. That's a bad sign. Seems that something happened down in that canyon. Let's be wary. Now would you look at that? Interesting. Let's see. Here we go. Undead.
Another bad sign. The Falcons are supposed to defend the entrance to the valley. Blasted armor.
More fighting. Does this never end?
Interesting.
All right. Is this really necessary?
That's the way.
Here we go. Sounds like a plan.
Understood.
Sure. This way, right?
You got it.
Now would you look at that? Got it.
All right, here goes nothing.
Let's see. Interesting. Let's see.
Let's burn them!
That way?
Sure. Good move.
Now would you look at that?
You got it.
Fine.
You'll regret this.
Here we go. Sounds like a plan.
What do you want? For the fire wielders!
I need help over here. Sure. That way? Sounds like a plan.
What's next?
Focus. You got it.
All right, why not?
I'll keep you shielded.
Whatever's necessary. Let's see.
They will fall.
That's the way?
Sure.
All right, the Falcons are definitely in trouble.
It's not just falcons, though.
Let's get down there.
Yes.
Blasted armor.
Understood.
Another death man? Look, friend, why can't you stick to our agreement for just an hour?
Death men? What do you mean?
What is this? Are you...
Now, would you look at that? The fabled falcons have called for reinforcements. They look a bit old, though. I always thought Lady Aonir likes her recruits young and ripe for plucking.
Hi, Keeper Aonir. And a hint of respect would be in order, Sir Catras.
Yeah, I know. You folk would kill for your formalities and traditions, even if it means sacrificing your own troops to a group of undead.
I think you're confusing something. We're not reinforcements.
Oh.
Then, who are you?
It's complicated. To put it shortly, we're looking for a relic that we believe to be hidden here in the desert.
Neatalf's helmet?
No. Shaper energy stone. Hard to explain.
Energy stone? Well, I hate to shatter your treasure hunting fantasies, but whatever it is you're looking for, you're going to have a hard time finding it. The Iron Falcons lost the fortress, and thus the tomb.
Oh, that's bad.
You make it sound as if we forgot to lock the door. Tell me, stranger, have you ever heard of the blood burn?
I have. What about it?
Well, most people think that it only affects the living. That's wrong. The blood burn has an effect on the dead, too. At least here. It wakes them.
The blood burn wakes the undead? How?
I don't know how. I only know what it does. Whenever a mage hears that cursed song, the undead rise. And it frenzies them, almost like somebody is speaking inside their heads.
Just like I thought. Telepathy. They must be able to stimulate the remnants of their minds, even though they've died long ago.
I beg your pardon?
Doesn't matter.
Is it possible that the undead also killed a scout of yours? We found one on the mountain pass.
Tiar's breath. That must have been Henry. We sent him to ask for reinforcements. May the Guardians have mercy on his soul.
We did all we could. I'm sorry.
No need to be. He gave his life to protect Io, as we Falcons all will one day. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
And these undead overran your fortress?
8 days ago, yes. We were forced to retreat, and now they're continuously pushing us back. We're losing soldiers every day. It's a nightmare.
Damn it. No idea how precise these Shaper maps are, but according to them, the stone is hidden somewhere in the fortress.
I can hear you, and I know which stone you're talking about.
Lady Aonir, come to favor us with your lovely presence again?
Shut up. As I said, I believe I know which stone you're talking about. It's been with the Falcons as long as I can remember, but we never figured out its use. What do you want it for?
I'm working for someone who wants to put an end to the bloodburn.
Huh. Lofty words. Look, stranger. If circumstances were different, we might discuss this. But right now, you're at the bottom of my priority list. I think it's best if you just go your way and look for another stone.
We can't do that. But maybe we could help.
You?
We and our army, which is waiting at the entrance of the canyon.
You're joking.
We're not. Go send a scout if you don't believe us.
Well, this just got a whole lot more interesting.
No. Whoever you are, there's no way on EO the Iron Falcons will cooperate with a bannerless army, deathmen or yours. The canyon is our responsibility. As I said, go back to where you came from and let us handle this. We've protected Aonir's blade for centuries, and we will not fail at it now. Hold the line, Kiroy.
Oof, look at those legs. Like pillars. If only she had half as much wits as she had muscle, this whole dilemma would have been resolved by now. Come to my camp if you want to talk. I think introductions are in order, and I can help you.
Good luck, stranger.
Corporal?
Oh, sod it.
You there! Wait! We should talk!
Thanks for coming back. Sorry the Keeper treated you so harshly. The thing is, we really could use your help. Any help, that is. Our sisters and brothers are still in the fortress, and I'm afraid they won't make it much longer. And as much as I respect the commander, I think she shouldn't have dismissed your offer so quickly.
So, what do you suggest we do?
Well, she is our leader, so without her consent, we can't do anything. But you could try to gain her trust.
Zarek's fangs, your men are in danger. Can't your commander just listen to reason?
Well, I fully agree with you. We have lost far too much time already. But knowing Highkeeper Aonir, I can tell you that this is the only way to convince her. 2 days ago, one of our brothers deserted. Find him and bring him back to Highkeeper Aonir. That should help you win her trust.
So the Deathmen are mercenaries. What do they want?
It's actually pretty simple. A relic. They were hired by some rich artifact collector from Everlight, who wants them to find Nidhalf's helmet.
Nidhalf's helmet? That's fascinating. So it is here, in Aonir's blade?
Yes, but in our possession. And since it's a relic of the Guardians, we are obliged to protect it, as much as we are bound to protect the tomb of the File Dark. Oh, this wouldn't be a problem if the undead hadn't taken our fortress. There's no way this group of cutthroats would have breached the walls. But now they want to help us free the fortress in return for the helmet.
That's a brazen move.
I agree. But it's also necessary. Even if the Guardians are watching us and judging our actions that very moment, they must see that the tomb of the File Dark and our brethren who are still in the fortress are more important than the helmet. But sadly, that is not how Highkeeper Aonir sees it. So, it's complicated. The Deathmen refuse to help as long as the Keeper doesn't swear to hand over the artifact in return.
You said that the Bloodburn woke them?
It still does. Every second night or so, our mages hear that forsaken song, and more undead rise from the ground. The fact that this place has been a battlefield for centuries doesn't make it better. There's as many bones as there are grains of sand.
Have you lost men to the Bloodburn too?
Well, most of us are magically gifted one way or the other, so hardly. But there have been casualties, yes.
That's harsh. Katris said the Deathmen could help me, too.
That man says a lot when the day is long. I hope you're not seriously considering working with these cutthroats.
Can't you just reclaim the fortress yourselves?
We've tried, but these undead, they are different. It's almost like this atrocity who is leading them, the one in the fortress, has given them some kind of intelligence. They are organized, almost like an army.
I'll think about it.
Well, don't think too long. Every minute we waste might cost us dearly.
We should think this through, Tahar. I'm sure we can only get on the good side of one of them. Deathmen or Falcons. Sure. That's a bad idea, Tahar. Without help, we can't win this battle. Let's talk to the Falcons or those strange soldiers first, shall we? That's a bad idea, Tahar. Without help, we can't win this battle. Let's talk to the Falcons or those strange soldiers first, shall we? This way, right?
That way? Sounds like a plan.
Sure.
So, what's the plan?
Interesting.
You came! I'm flattered.
You said you could help us.
I can, but first things first, right? I'm Katras Vertarth, leader of the Honourable Death Men. Well, not really honourable, but you get the idea. What's your name?
Tahar.
Pleasure to meet you, Tahar. Since you've already talked to our Falcon friend over there, I assume you're familiar with the dilemma. We want the helmet, but Madam Squareface doesn't want to cooperate with us.
So I assume you want us to help you recapture the fortress?
Yes. And in return, we'll give you that stone you want, and a small share of our pay.
I doubt the Keeper would like this.
Judging by those dead eyes and the stubborn look on her face, I doubt the Keeper likes anything but stale bread, prayer altars, and fighting the undead under the desert sun.
Before I decide anything, I want to know more about you. Who are the Death Men exactly?
As I said, mercenaries. The only difference between us and most groups is that we don't give a damn about the race, the past, or the skin colour of our recruits. Which is why we and Lady Aonir get along so terribly well. As much as we value them keeping us safe from the Vile Dark, the Iron Falcons are an uptight bunch of elitists.
You're a dark elf, right?
No, I just paint my skin blue because it looks pretty.
Sorry, it's just I've never seen one of your kind before.
Well, now you have. Though I'm probably not the best example. I don't eat babies, I don't fuck corpses, and I don't spend all day mumbling ominous incantations.
Let's assume I'm interested in your offer. How do you envision this cooperation?
Well, first of all, I want you to take care of something for me. Just recently, one of the Falcons deserted. Can't blame him, to be honest. Sadly, he just ran off into the desert rather than coming to our camp. I would like to change that. If he's still alive, find him and bring him to me. He might have some information that might be useful. Afterwards, you can bring in your army, we join forces and take back the fortress. You get your stone, I'll get my helmet. Everybody wins.
How will Keeper Aonir react to this?
I don't know, but if we join forces, we outnumber her by far. And it's not as if I'm planning on plundering, I just want the helmet. After that, she can have the fortress back. In a way, we're even doing her a favor. Her men are dying in there. I offered my help. You did, but she doesn't want it. You can only lead a horse to the water. You can't make it drink.
Why do you need me for this?
Because Madame Squareface keeps a watchful eye on me. She even said that if we make one wrong move, they'll use violence. Oh, I doubt she'd be that stupid, with these undead at our doorstep.
All right, I'll think about it.
Well, think fast. So long, Tahar. I hope to see you around.
That's the way?
Zarek guides me. Sure.
Sure. That way?
Blasted armor. That's a bad idea, Tahar. Without help, we can't win this battle. Let's talk to the Falcons or those strange soldiers first, shall we?
For the fire wielders!
Let's see.
Fine.
You asked for this. Get ready.
Good move.
Now would you look at that?
You got it. Sounds like a plan. Sure.
Stay away! I'm not going back!
I take it you're the deserter.
Deserter? I'm the only one with a hint of reason. Did she send you? Highkeeper Aonir?
What do you mean by a hint of reason?
Isn't it obvious? That whole thing, it's ridiculous. Our brethren are still inside the fortress. Blaze is even Aonor's disciple is. But she just refuses to cooperate with the Deathmen. And why? Because she's too proud. She hides it behind the Falcon Way and our traditions. But that's nonsense. Yeah, sure, the Falcons are a purely human order. But that doesn't mean you can't accept help from a dark elf if the fate of Io depends on it, does it? Instead, she's planning this idiotic foray which will be the sure end of us all.
She's planning an attack?
You didn't know? Yes, tomorrow at night. It's pure madness, and I'm not throwing my life away like this. I'd rather die in the desert. But you're gonna take me back, aren't you? To the Falcons.
If I bring you back, will the High Keeper kill you?
I don't know. I'm a deserter, so it is her good right to do so, but maybe she will settle for a month in the dungeon. Still, just don't make me go back there, please.
Sort of. I'm here to bring you back to the Falcons' camp.
Well, what can I do? I'll go back. You don't look like the kind of person to argue with. But if I die, it's on you.
Don't lay off the blame. You made a choice, and now you have to face the consequences. Now move.
Let's burn them.
Yes, and I will gladly accept my punishment. But please, High Keeper, at least consider the offer.
We'll see. Now get back to your post, Kiroy. The undead aren't waiting for you.
High Keeper.
Interesting. High Keeper Aonir,
I know what you did. You brought back Scion Marek. Kiroy told me all about his little plan.
So? Will you let us help or not?
Fine. Yes, I will. Bring in that army of yours and we'll see if we can deal with the undead together. Though I'm still not sure how I like the idea of working with an offspring of the dark races.
When it comes to dealing with the undead, we are not that different.
Is that so? Well, I guess we need to try. Talk to Kiroy, my second-in-command. He'll show you where you can set up an outpost.
Wait, that boy is your second-in-command?
He's older than he looks and one of the most capable keepers. So yes, he is my second-in-command.
Fair enough. I'll talk to him.
Good.
Let's see.
Yes? Please tell me you have good news.
I do. The High Keeper agreed to the alliance, and she told me you'd show us a spot for our army to make camp.
Ah, finally some good news. Alright, I'll show you a good spot.
Hold on a moment. High Keeper Aonir said you're the Falcon's second-in-command.
Well, yes I am.
Aren't you a bit young for that?
Maybe. Maybe not. Traditionally, the Falcon's recruits are chosen at the age of 6. In other words, I've been in this desert for 18 years. So I have experience.
Lead the way.
Great. Here, this is a good place to build your outpost. Once you're all set up and your army has arrived, we'll discuss further steps.
Building completed.
I think we're set.
You are. Though I certainly didn't expect your army to be a bunch of sellswords. I hope they're not just here for the loot.
Well, don't worry. The Wayfarers aren't just sellswords. They fight for a cause.
Your word in Tiara's ear. Well, best we get started. I'll order a carriage of basic provisions to be delivered your way. It's not much, but as you can guess, most of our resources are in the fortress. Since you've also brought some craftsmen with you, we would be grateful if you could share some of your resources with us once you've started gathering. The more provisions we have, the better we'll fight. Just drop them off at our camp. Also, if you could take out those towers, that would help us tremendously.
Towers?
Yes, they are ancient Hibernian devices the Falcons have used for centuries to defend themselves against the undead. They have captured them and seem to be using them against us, which is, once more, worrying. Undead are meant to be mindless monsters, not tacticians. I strongly assume it's this creature who is leading them.
Understood. When do we strike the fortress?
Once we've gained enough ground and are prepared enough, I guess. That's really up to Highkeeper Aonir and you to decide. Just make sure you fill her in on your plans. And yes, now that might be worth a try.
What?
There's an old catapult up to the northeast. When that whole bloodburn mess started, we pushed it up there to take out clusters of undead, but we were forced to retreat. If you can reclaim it, we can use it to our advantage.
All right, let's get to work then.
Do that. And I'm glad you came along. That attack the Highkeeper planned to free the fortress. It would have been a suicide mission. You prevented one tragedy from happening, friend. Let's hope we can prevent the second one, too.
Building complete.
Sir!
Something you need?
Now would you look
You're the commander, aren't you?
I am. What's wrong?
There's been a sighting of this entity again. You know, the one who comes with the bloodburn.
More undead.
Yes. All of us are busy keeping the hordes from the fortress at bay. But depending on how many this blasted song wakes up this time, we might be in for a lot of trouble.
Okay, I'll clear out that site. Where is it?
In the mountains, to the southwest. Thank you. And Tiara's blessings.
Building completed.
So much to do. So little.
Huh?
Chop, man. Let's get to work. Take a second.
That way?
We need to gather more wood, Commander.
Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Well then. Alright then, let's get to it. This will be a masterpiece. that should work. This will be a masterpiece.
Huh?
Well then. Alright then, let's get to it.
Yes?
We're being attacked!
Got it. Fair enough. Let's do this.
I'll keep you shielded.
Building completed.
You read my mind.
We need to gather more wood, Commander.
It will only take a second.
Yes? What do you want?
So, what's the plan?
Do you smell that? Incense. This must have been some kind of ritual site. Wait. Did you hear that?
The song. Yeah. That...
Blazes!
More fighting. Does this never end?
Interesting. We're clear, but what's that noise?
A Zarek Nar. A tribe eater.
A what?
A kind of demon that normally only appears in Barga Gor. According to the lore, when a tribe gets weak and frail and stops pursuing the struggle, Zarek sends these things from below the earth. They have wiped out entire tribes. Therefore the name. Bloody Song must have woken it. Shit. That's more than bad. If we don't calm it, it will tear our army to pieces. And it'll take the Falcons and the Deathmen right along with it.
Don't you think we can kill it?
We can try. But that will most likely end with our guts in that thing's belly. No, there has to... Wait. Yes, of course. The sacrifice.
Sacrifice?
Yes. We can put the Tribe Eater back to sleep. If we sacrifice someone to it. Maybe a soldier, a footman, anyone. If we don't do this, we're in for a lot of trouble.
But that's cruel. Don't tell me you're seriously considering this, Tahar.
Alright, that should work.
Forget about it. I'm not giving one of my soldiers to this beast. We'll run or fight it.
Fine. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Yes.
Sounds like a plan.
Alright, why not? That's the way? blasted armor.
Zalraka.
Uh-huh.
Commander, we finished researching a new technology.
Yes?
Huh? Fine.
Sure.
Building completed. We're being attacked! We need to gather more wood, Commander.
Get moving.
Thing's humongous.
Kill it!
Will do. Sure.
Help! Please!
Killed one of our heroes.
Help! Please!
I need healing.
Killed one of our heroes.
That way? You got
Understood.
We should get moving.
it. Just give the word.
Danger up ahead!
So, what's the plan?
Huh?
We're being attacked!
All right.
Sure.
Huh?
I'll keep you shielded. Move!
Yes?
Chop chop, man. Let's get to work.
Building completed.
This will be a masterpiece. Chop chop, man. Let's... Well then. So much to do, so little time. Alright, gonna take a second.
Building completed.
Uh-huh.
Will only take a second.
We're being attacked!
Is this really necessary?
Get ready! Focus area.